So growing up in my family, encouraging words were few and far between. I was often told things like I was an accident, I was a mistake. I was constantly told that I couldn't do anything right, and everything was always my fault.
Dee Roman had heard the lies so often that she started to believe them.
I remember one night making this deal with myself that since I was a bad girl, I was gonna just be the best bad girl that I could possibly be. And I started using drugs. I started drinking in school. I started shoplifting.
As a teen, Dee got hooked on crystal meth. Though it gave her an escape, it would be harder to get away from the pain she endured at a party when she was 17.
I was violently raped twice. And as devastating as that was for me, I told myself that, that I deserved it because bad things happen to bad girls.
So she never told her family or police.
After the rapes, I had an absolute need to control everything and everyone.
After high school, she moved to Phoenix and became a stripper. Then 3 years later, she headed for Hollywood, lured by the promise of big money and a glamorous lifestyle of the sex industry.
All my friends were high-paid call girls. They made tons of money. It was like mid-'80s. It was a cool thing to be a call girl. That's how you got a rock star. I finally got my interview. I went to meet the big Hollywood madam. This madam spoke over me, "You're a dominatrix." A dominatrix is someone who is in control and in charge of a fantasy or a scenario that is agreed upon by the players of the game. I was thinking to myself, there's two positions in life. You're either the person in control or you're the one being controlled. And I thought to myself, I'm definitely not gonna let anyone control me.
For 2 decades, Dee slipped further into the sex industry as her addiction to crystal meth grew stronger.
I loved meth. I could stay awake for weeks at a time. And there was a lot of partying going on. I didn't want to miss anything.
She never thought about getting help until the man she was seeing left her.
I gave my heart to someone, and they broke my heart. And so I decided to go to rehab just to kind of get away. So I keep going back to rehab. I could never get more than 14 days because the thoughts and the flashbacks of the things that had happened to me in my life were just so overwhelming that I actually welcomed back the relief that the drugs gave me.
Dee wasn't the only one searching for answers.
One day, one of my fellow dominatrix friends invited me to a Bible study. She didn't tell me it was a Bible study. They sing this song that goes, "Chains be broken, lives be healed, eyes be opened, Christ is revealed." And I start sobbing. I'm thinking to myself, I have chains that need to be broken.
The ladies invited Dee to a Christian conference called God Chicks. The president of Mercy Ministries, Nancy Alcorn, was speaking.
She said something that changed my life. She said, "I set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Choose life." And it hit me like a brick wall. I hadn't realized that my whole life I had a choice. And I knew that I had been choosing death because that's what I thought I deserved. I've been an addict for 30 years and I'm literally at the end of my rope. I want to surrender to Jesus.
Afterwards, Nancy led her in prayer.
Jesus, I believe that you died for my sins, that I need you to be my savior. I believe in you and I'm going to follow you.
Dee was 42 when she made that promise and says from that moment on, her life has never been the same.
First of all, I knew God was real. There was no disputing. People knew right away. I called people right after that conference and they were like, "What happened to you? You sound different." My voice was different. I was different. I was so filled with the Holy Spirit. I literally, it was the best high of my life. That was 2,305 days ago, and I have never done drugs again since that moment.
She also quit working as a dominatrix and says as she grew in her faith, God also healed her from her sexual addiction.
So Jesus did this thing for me that I could not do for myself. When I look back at that girl I used to be, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that God saved me. I didn't know I was worth saving. There's a God that loves you more than anyone could ever love you, and that if you just focus on him, that he can heal you, because I'm healed.